Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Trust everybody's doing well. Welcome to our product deep dive session. The session is really built for you. Here, we have it every third Saturday of each month. We have our practitioners come in and then share their journey, speak about a particular product area, and then give us, their 2 cents. So tips and tricks. And then the bit of it is the demonstration, so that way we see. A lot of times we can speak about a lot of products in here. Some of these products, they look like they are voluminous, so because they are in product suites. But to break it down, so that way we can see, okay, we can, in some cases, test some of them in the PDI. But if not, the ServiceNow University, the playground, they will always have the courses so that you can go in there and then get a full blast for it. So there will be a course there for free, especially on demand. Some of them, it might even be knowledge labs like the one we would use today, so that way everyone kind of like gets a feel for AI, and not just AI, agentic AI or the agentic workflows. We have these sessions every third Thursdays. Everything is recorded via WebEx and shared in the community. Also, big shout out to the Nigerian Dev Meetup. They had an earlier session today. I was there. It was 7 to 10, 7 to 10, but I had to leave early about 9 or 9ish, there about good speakers, trying to make sure that I know we've had a lot of people, with great success in Nigeria, but even in Africa as a whole. So it's always a pleasure, having to, connect with them. I've been a speaker twice, but this was the first in-person meetup that they had. It's hybrid, so in-person and as well as a virtual one. So there's like virtual speakers that were all over the world too, that connected, from UK, Nigeria, Canada, everywhere else. But for the most part, and then also, another one that is big there is we have a Q&A session. We have this every first Saturday of the month. Here, all we're doing is just demystifying the whole IT thing. So we call our practitioners, they come, they share their journey, they answer a couple of questions. We do have question templates that we use to kind of like get us going. And then we go ahead and answer questions from the chat as well. So note one thing for sure: use the Q&A feature, use the chat as well. Ask questions. That's really why we're here. Today, my humble self, I'll be sharing about AI. I've been doing AI since 2018. I've been fortunate to actually lead AI implementations for both public and private sector clients. Many of them have been in the healthcare space. So whether it be for clinical asset management, workspace service delivery, and then the other one is having to do with medical assets too, like for managing all of that. So just as an FYI. Once again, thank Obi, my spouse here. You've had her. She's been there. She's also on the whole ServiceNow and the architectural journey. So she's been instrumental making sure that keeping us grounded and then doing the grunt work. Like I always say, she knows that once I start talking ServiceNow, I can I can just sleep on it, because hey, ServiceNow is huge. It will change your story. The only thing is, you have to give yourself time. Like I always tell everyone, keep doing what you're doing. One thing certain is it will eventually all turn in or add up. The only thing you need to remember or be mindful for is give yourself time to grow and learn. So everybody has a different learning skill or learning style. So there will be that learning curve. Some people is steep, some people it's really quick. So what just matters is that, and then some of them is new phenomenon. Definitely your transitions will be different, but for sure you would get to that finish line. You get to, so long as you're consistent, you're hungry, you're persistent, you're using your network, because it's all about what analysis is all about. So Today I'll be speaking about AI, and then not just AI, I'll also speak a bit or two about Zurich, what's there in Zurich, and then not everything. I mean, we'll be fortunate enough to have attended the Tech Now held by the Dev Advocate team, speaking about products that are tied to developers, but not just developers, administrators, creators, but even just implementers generally, or ServiceNow enthusiasts generally. Like, for example, for today, we would have a high-level demo on ATF, using it, enabling it in your platform scene, and then, upgrading from your PDI or the personal developer instance, how to, upgrade those into Zurich, and then take it for a spin. So like in ATF, pick a look, see what products are there and what's not. And then we should also, have a good build for the agentic AI. So we would get a build for building out that, AI and what it is, so that way we can kind of like, be on the go. So give me 1 second, and then I would go ahead and start. So for the most part, just give me 1 second. I would share my screen. Let me put you on a hold, just 1 minute. Okay, you can see my screen, correct?
We are seeing your Yahoo Mail, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to be sure that you're seeing my screen. All right, sounds good. All right, so just give me 1 second here, and then I would, okay. All right, good deal, good. All right, that's it. All right, so, all right, and then there we go. Okay. And then, all right, so once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are, everyone. Trust everybody's doing well. So today we'll be speaking about the ServiceNow AI agents, or what we call the agentic workflows. And then we would also be speaking about what's new in Zurich family release. I will be the presenter today, Namaka. This is for our product deep dive for August 2025. So this is a packed agenda. So introduction of myself, the purpose of this presentation, we'll talk about the problem statement that the agentic workflow is trying to solve for organizations. Then we would actually go ahead and speak about what ServiceNow AI agents are. So an overview, background context, and then we'll look at pre-built use cases, and then the workflows. Then we'll look at the demo, and then we'll look at AI agent resources. And then we will look at the Zurich release, and then speak to, pretty much a few of the release updated products that we have, especially those tied to, that were listed in Tech Now a couple of weeks ago. And then we'll look at the Zurich resources and then go with demos. So the demo would be for ATF, and then you would see, the few additional tests that are there, over 56 that were added. So we have roughly over 70, I believe, or about 90 thereabout. And then we'll close with questions that you have. So then it's really packed. So I'm excited for us to get on this journey together. This is a little bit about me. So my name is Nameka. So I'm a platform architect. I have over 20 plus years experience, especially within service delivery. So I am fortunate to be a ServiceNow technical architect. I also have an advanced degree in business, a project manager, project management professional. And then I have a ton of certification and experience within ServiceNow, evangelizing service management. So whether it's HR service, IT service, customer service, field service, you name it. like new and emerging technologies. I love to actually go dig deep and then kind of like break it, right? I have a PDI that I used to, do things, and then I have that ServiceNow University to really, play the whole thing. So today's purpose for our presentation is to inform you on AI agents, what they are, and then the agentic workflows. Share some insights on the ServiceNow's release, and then go neck in for the demos, because the demos is really it for you to go and see. ServiceNow has brought that ServiceNow University that was big, that was ServiceNow Learning before, but the whole essence is on-demand courses are all free. You go in there, you soak up that content. And then not just that, most of the on-demand courses, whether it's for implementer or whether it's specific for a particular product or new product or existing product or updates, especially for new release. For example, we have Yokohama release. So most of the courses you might have done, I used to do that a lot. So even though I'm certified, every time I go in there for every new release, there will be some new content that has been created there, or even new, learning. So I might have finished the Xanadu version. I will see a Yokohama version for the same thing. I will go repeat it. It's reinforced learning. So I try to do that, especially when I'm less busy. But I have those, all the way in my bucket for me to continue to engage and soak up the ServiceNow latest and greatest and keep up, because the IT, especially right now, you must have that continuous and continual learning, and then a growth mindset. You might not have all the answers initially, but for sure you have questions to get the answers, and you're resourceful to be able to research and do the work. So the problem here is shortage of specialized talent. So for example, not necessarily shortage, we will say specialized skills. So whether it's analysts, whether it's developers, whether it's architects, whether it's quality assurance analysts, Scrum masters, product owners, there is not enough, right? And then with the rate of change of technology, right now we have the AI. So it has really, it's something that we cannot really tell with the way things are going. Not just that we don't have enough skilled resource to fill out all the open positions, because positions are coming in day in, day out. But that's where we would take a read for the room and then make sure that we're always upskilling, reskilling, and keeping up with the latest and greatest. In industries also, we have fragmented systems. So there's a lot of disjointed information. So siloed systems and then legacy systems, they are actually causing a lot of inefficiencies in processes. So, and then all of that, there's a treasure trove of information where many organizations are not actually leveraging. But ServiceNow's Now Assist AI agents are there to help with a lot of resources to unearth and scale process and what we call better and faster and cheaper. So for the processes, and the beauty about Now Assist is the fact that your data is speaking, because you have that data already, but now you're unearthing actions that you can do and then get those going. So the background context. So Gartner believes that by 2029, the agentic AI will autonomously resolve 80% of customer service issues with little or no human intervention. Right, so the expectation is 30% of reduction in operational cost. So would you be part of the solution? Deloitte predicts that 25% of enterprises are going to use generative AI. So they are already deploying this, as at 2025. And the growth is only expected to be, like they say, ginormous, or you hear exponential, like Bill McDermott would say, 50% by 2025. By 2028, 33% of enterprises software applications would include agentic experiences. So whether you like it or not, AI is ubiquitous right now. So it's been deployed day in, day out. So are you part of that way? Are you keeping up? You don't need to be a data scientist to do this. You don't need to be a data engineer or go back to school to do it. The whole idea is to have that growth mindset, reskill, upskill, experiment. Because even in your Microsoft tools, all of that is embedded in there. But are you utilizing it? Even for presentations, some of them you're practicing with the coach, or it's there. Or even your notepad or OneNote, you say Copilot. Even the Google, you have the Google Lens, you have the AI pilot, or you're asking your questions, that prompt engineering, you're just filtering your question the way you ask it. The way you ask it. So Harvard Business Review, Professor Carl in there believes, and which is the truth, AI is not going to take your job, but someone that knows how to use this AI or utilize this AI is going to take your job. Harvard Business Review also lets us know that by 2027 or within 2027 and 2030, that for a fact, a lot of people will be in transition mode. So a lot of jobs especially that don't really rely on your people skills will not exist no more. A lot of jobs that don't rely on your people skills. When we say people skills, we mean your soft skills. Because the systems or agentic systems are coming to automate repetitive tasks. So they're going to free you to be able to use your intelligent power, your brain power to do stuff. So people skills like communication, collaboration, empathy, critical thinking, your people skills, right? That's really key here. Being able to research, being able to create document. So what exactly is that ServiceNow AI agents? What do they do? ServiceNow AI agents are nothing but AI systems or AI chatbots or AI entities. They mimic human-like intelligence. So they have what we call the reasoning modeling, or what you say, the human neural network. So the way our brain thinks. But all of this is embedded in the technology. So the large language model. And all of that is just query parameters in there. Criteria built into your data, because there's a ton of data you have, right? But for you to build logic or see the flow, that's really what those AI agents are. They are all about. So they perform simple tasks. They can automate these tasks. And then in some cases, they orchestrate it. So not just one agent, but now connected agents. So one agent might be a build agent. The other one might be a resolver agent. And then they can work autonomously or with supervision. So that human insight. And all of that is built. You can also be able to model them. Like recently, they said, if you check the news about ChatGPT, the new version not being able to kind of like be empathetic towards people, or even the AI for Grok going AWOL, answering wrongly, or even the Facebook's AI, Meta AI, having to, not take bias considerations or relating to children, especially underage. But you need to see that everybody's making a conscious effort to ensure that they have all of that built in. So the essence of this is to scale productivity, scale that, like we say, now it's not just better, faster, cheaper again. Now what you have in there is now smarter. So not just better, right? Smarter, faster, and then now much more adaptation. So they are now able to adapt. So they are able to actually, infer based on that your real-time data or real-time information that they have of your processes, because they're all embedded in your systems. They're all embedded in your system. So your data is speaking to you. So ServiceNow has continued to evolve their AI offerings. ServiceNow started AI in 2017. I got into that space 2018. But ServiceNow got there with the virtual agent. That's conversational chat. Then it was just a monotonous chat, if you will. But right now they've continued to grow that with the natural language understanding modeling there. So you would see the slow build. They've been continuously replatforming their system, doing a great ton of stuff just to make sure that they get there, whether it's with natural language query for your databases, especially because the systems are all built, whether they're SQL query, they're all Max is using that filter in there, or what we say condition builder, if you will. There's a lot of builder experiences, drag and drop, but they're pretty much masking out the underlying data, whether it's the HTML or the business rule or the automations that are there with that flow designer or catalog builder or it's form builder or now component builder, mobile builder. Those experiences, workspace or workspace builder, there's so much. There's so much. Now Assist, beginning with 2023 or after 2022, when the release, so Virtual Alien came in, they had predictive intelligence come in there, they had tax intelligence, they had automated discovery, they provided with we talked about doc intelligence, process mining, huge stuff. But with 2023 and the advent of the generative modeling, ServiceNow released that Now Assist capability, with the ITSM, or what we call user support space. So ITSM, HR, customer service as the key. And then, went ahead to introduce, Creator, which is part of the platform and, for developers or app development. And then with the agentic workflow or AI agents. So, they've continued to evolve that offering up until date. So this is the whole look, what you should expect in there. It's all, just a minute. It's all, the slow growth from the standard scripting, for automation, using that workflow, catalog flows. There's so much. And then the robot process automation, whether it's attended and unattended robots, connecting systems autonomously. Then the AI workflows that we have. So machine learning. Don't have to be a data scientist. There's a transparency in it. There's a lot of documentation to help you get there. What that it means is, are you willing to experiment? Are you willing to take it for a spin and then niche in that area? Are you willing to do that? The virtual agent that came in 2017, it's not the same virtual agent. Now it's conversational. They even have conversational catalog ordering right now. So it's a beast. It's a beast. It's continuing to evolve. So, and then right now with agentic sensing, reasoning, the whole 9 yards. And it's not going to stop. It will only continue to get better as much as we are giving it feedback, refining it as we need when we do those prompt engineering, just refining your query. Like okay, what is this? How can I do that? Even in your day-to-day life, and then you give it a full set of instructions. A full set of instructions. So ServiceNow is the AI platform of choice, driving business transformation. So ServiceNow has it all built in. So it's not bolted in like they say, right? There's that conscious effort. So there's an AI control tower there. There's an AI agent studio where you actually go in and build these automations. Yes, they are not available on your PDI, we would wish, but there's ServiceNow was gracious enough to provide the workflow studio, which is also enabling automation there. And then App Engine Studio, so that you can actually go, experience the build experience. UI Builder is there, so it's all available for you to build different experiences. So, but the AI agents are there with your agentic workflows or use cases, and then the orchestration that ties all of that. And then we have the agent fabric, or the data fabric, so workflow data. So the agents reside in themselves, but they need to be connected to a particular business problem so that they actually solve for a need. They actually run through their process and actually perform a task. Just like you have automation. Automation doesn't go by itself. There must be a business problem it solves for, right? It must be a user persona or role. And then there must be a set of instructions, like you said, approvals or, go do this. And then it has a set of tools that they utilize, which you actually string together, right? You string together, you add them up, and then you utilize them as you need. So this is what it is, the agentic workflows, in a nut. So all that you're looking at for that is you have your agentic use case or the workflow. That is your business problem, the why. What is your goal? What are you trying to solve for? So you're going to put your prompt in. So you're telling it what you want it to do. Then you would go use the AI orchestrator where the whole planning and coordination comes in. So that is the how. Like we talk about, if you remember when we say the analysis steps, and that's really what it is, the who, the what, the why, the how, right? The when and where is timelines, but the who, the what, the why, the how deciding on different ways. There are different ways to do the same thing, the same outcome. Then the agents. Who are the agents in themselves? So the different agents for the different suites of capabilities. So IT agent for IT workflows. So HR agent for HR workflows, CRM agent for customer and industry workflow, risk agent for SecOps. Agent personas are built around that kind of tasks that they are supposed to do. Then you have the different tools, the capabilities, the skills, if you will, like, so the different workflows, you could use things like search the web, a Google search or a Bing search, or you could use catalog items to resolve. You could use flows or workflows. You could use conversational chat. You could use scripts. There's so much tools that you can use because it's context aware. It's within your environment, stuff that you have. And then the thing is this, the orchestration layer. Your data can reside anywhere with that workflow data fabric. And then you have that integration hub. So it's all connected. It's all connected. So some of the terminologies you have is the agentic system. So agentic system is not just is an AI system or artificial intelligence system that perceives its environment. So based on that perception, it makes a decision that infers, and then it takes action, it goes to work. It goes to work to resolve a particular goal with little or no human intervention. So you have that autonomous processing, you have the supervised processing, you have that, whether it's for your chatbots or even the workflows in themselves, when we're going to start to build it now so that you see. So the systems learn, they adopt, right? They adapt to changes on the fly because change is constant, change is inevitable. Adaptation is key, right? Knowing when to pivot. Then they go ahead and solve that need. There must be a need. If not, the agents are not actually built out without that in mind. So the agents in themselves consist of your instructions, which is tailored or set up for large language models tied to that task. Then the workflow is when you have them, the orchestration, when you have them all built in and you have them going, and maybe one agent to do it, like we said, resolver agent, or you have them as a group of agents all working on a particular, say big picture thinking, have them resolve a lot of stuff. So once you have that AI agent set up, for you to do that, you have two roles or two permissions sets. You have the AI agent administrator or SNAI _admin. So they have access to that application. So with that, they can do the whole database transactions, the create, read of data, delete of records within there. Then you have the viewer. The viewer has read-only access. They can read reports, they can actually read the table data to see, especially as those are you can actually make it available whether you want them to be able to view or not the processing, if you will. So what are the requirements? Customers must have the Now Assist installed with a Professional Plus and an Enterprise Plus entitlement. So you can buy them as an add-on license, but already you must use a Professional or an Enterprise product suite. So if you don't have any Pro or Enterprise, there is no way you need to get to this SKU or SKU or stock known units, so that way you can now be able to have that as an add-on. That's the Now Assist capability. So for you to have the AI agents, you must have a Yokohama patch 1 or a Xanadu patch 7 plus. So you must have a Now Assist for whether it's IT or HR or any of the AI agent store apps installed. You must have that. So the admin role is necessary. There's no way, because just like most applications, you must have the admin of that application. If not, you can't really enable or really manage it. Like I said, administer it or create or manage it. So AI search, you need to have AI search enabled in your system or for you to do that. We're going to do this demo in a minute now so that you see. And then also you have to have the Now Assist panel. You have to have that enabled too as well. So a couple of things, use cases, that you would see that you use. And then also you have to have the Now Assist generative AI, which came with that Vancouver patch. So you must have that if you're looking at the Now Assist capabilities in themselves, because remember, those are part of the tools that are being leveraged. So the AI assist, whether it's tax generation or text generation or recommendation or summarization, those skills. So you must have the Now Assist capability in there within your package. So these are some of the workflows that are there that are available out of the box, or what we call baseline. So if you actually go in there for the AI agent, ServiceNow already has these pre-built use cases that they help to solve for, so you can get to value really quickly, or what we call low-hanging fruits. You just turn it on, implement, and done. Just like with the Now Assist one, the same way. So categorize and route incidents, one and done. I remember even when we had the predictive intelligence, when it only had one field that it used to be. Before we gave recommendations and feedback, then they provided tax intelligence rather than just PI. So now you can, be able to automate more fields in one particular definition, or within that. So we have fulfillment for your software requests. So like you have, that's catalog ordering. You can do that. There's a series of steps. You get the approval, you get the information, just like you would do for things like request a new group, or which is that record producer kind of thing. Same way. Resolving the incident. So long as you have the required, you can set up those automations, like I said, flows, workflows, even business rules. Based on the criteria, it picks the information, it goes through the context. It can see its context aware, it's learning. It's learning. Whether it's alerts or generating change plans, triaging alerts. These are just, and it will continue to grow or evolve, because as businesses show different contexts, ServiceNow would continue to build it for you. You can also build your own, like custom skills. You can build yours too. These are risk agents, the SecOps stuff. So optimize risk, issue remediation, or reduction in vulnerability exposure, or speed. Yeah. These are for customer relationships. So triaging incoming cases, so that way you know where to, auto assignment, auto routing, that's the same way. So optimize customer satisfaction scores. So you're tracking your customer sentiment and then knowing, how you can respond. And then managing your invoices, just to name a few. These are HR agents. So you're assessing benefits, enrollment information, automating your time off, PTO. Everybody's very important. You need to have those times off so that you can recharge your systems. The work is not going to stop. The work is only going to get better, and they need you to be there full throttle, 100%. So make out time to ensure that you're doing that, and then be time with your family, and then for sure, God first. You can't take that away. So this is finance and supply chain. So coordinating supplier onboarding, huge stuff. Identifying discount and applying them, huge stuff. So this is for app dev. So you're writing scripts and code snippets, those recommendations, right? Or even updates to service catalog, or even playbook generation or playbook builder or knowledge articles. Even you can create an app really fast. All you need is put the app instructions and boom, it gives you an app shell, it gives you the whole 9 yards. It gives you the whole thing. So just as an FYI. So these are some of the tools. So catalog items. So whether it's for conversational catalog ordering, then conversational topics, like we talk about, large language model topics are also there. You can upload file, maybe knowledge articles, or maybe external systems you can connect to, like your share drive or SharePoint or flow actions. They are there. You can script too. Now I see skills, that generative AI, right? AI started with, traditional AI, which we would say, so those predictive systems, then generative systems. So having to mature to that, where you start to generate new content from, that information that's available to you. And then now agentic, orchestrating the whole thing, the whole flow of work. So knowledge graph connection or knowledge graphs are there, just making sure that based on your knowledge resources that you're able to get value. So record operations, that's those create, read, update, delete, all of that. Your AI agents can do that. Scripts are there. And then you can use your RAG, or what we call the search retriever within your system. You can do a web search as well. And then subflows, right? You say reviewable actions, subflows. ServiceNow is committed to responsible AI. Huge. Why? Because the whole essence is this. These are the 4 pillars they have. Human-centered. Everything that is being done within ServiceNow is done with a human in mind. So it's solving for your need, and you are in control. So there's a lot of available, whether it's the playground or the documentation, because, and then the instructions that you give, which you can always modify or update or tailor it to suit which model you want to use, which response you want to do, whether it's the inputs, whether it's the outputs. And then diversity and bias. So it's as fair as you can get. So your data, you're responsible for that, making sure that, your data is all inclusive, because ServiceNow would also do that. And then it also allows you the opportunity to either go ahead to sign up or, opt in or not. But all the information is available for your training. So you also can create what we call synthetic data. If you use ServiceNow, provides you with what's called the skill kit and data kit. So skill kit to build custom AI skills or generative AI skills, and then the data kit to build custom data sets, which you can use for your training data sets. And then transparency, like we talk about, there's a lot of documentation that is all there available to you. It's one single platform, right? One data model. All your data is there, right? It doesn't leave. It's just you, not mingled or commingled with others. No. You can bring your own model, right? They have the controller for you to use, so you can connect to others. then it's accountable. So all of the information that is available there is all well documented. It's well documented. And at any point, you can opt out. So there's full transparency, full blast. Full transparency, very important. So just as an FYI. So based off of that, ServiceNow built what we call the Now Assist Guardian. So with that, if you go to your Now Assist settings, you will be able to configure this. So like offensive language detection, you can be able to get those set up just by turning it on, that checkbox or that click, and it's all set up. Plug and play. So you can also manage the models in themselves. You can also configure for prompt injection so that that's adversarial attack. You can do that too. So based on that, they also have an AI control tower that ServiceNow has for you to manage your models. So it's like a single pane of glass to manage your AI journey. So from creating them, from configuring them, looking at your dashboard for its usage, you can see when, especially for fine-tuning or tuning the models, and depending on how much volume of data that you also go ahead to create, you're able to actually utilize that. So ServiceNow is always going to continue to innovate and evolve. They also need your feedback. So they are like we call product hubs, and where you can also share your feedback, even when you're using the content, whether it's the documentation or Now Create or best practice, you put a feedback there so that way the system continues to learn. So we'll begin with the AI demo here. Do we have any questions in the chat? Because this is the first, do we have any questions in the chat? Just take a look 1 minute. And then I'll see. Okay, there's no question yet. So yeah, so if you were to go to ServiceNow, yes, you don't get it in your PDI, but if you do go in and you go to the ServiceNow University, so if you're logged into there and then you go to certification, or you go to the ServiceNow University in itself, it should be here. It should take you here, which is what it is, University of Me. So now you can search for any course. Like in our case, we're looking for the Now Assist AI agent. So I already have that already set up, but just Now Assist AI agents. That's what your search would be for. It's going to show you all the courses that are all in there that you can use. You can favorite this. You can, bookmark it. You can go through. There's a lot of them. This is to configure it. This is the administration. Similar stuff really quickly. This is building it, but building an AI agent really quickly. These are labs. ServiceNow provides that. This is from the knowledge, just concluded knowledge sessions, so that you can go through with that. There is also with the build agents, which will help you plan, reason, and automate. But it's all there. It's all available for you to use. So I think I already have. I think I have it already open, somewhat. Okay, Now Assist AI agents, I believe. Was it this one or no? Was it that one? Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. This is ServiceNow community. This is ServiceNow community, one of the resources. But yeah. So this is the course. I will go in there, and then I will go ahead and enroll in it. But I think we're doing that one. But it's simple to enroll in any one of them. So like this one is the configure one. I just opened it, and I believe I had already opened that one. So I can click on it. It would show me what I'm missing or what I need. You can download the documentation. It will give you some documents to use, and then it shows you how. I have build, I have build, I have administration. So I would pick I'll pick this one, the build one, really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to open it. So I think I already had. So it takes a couple of minutes, about 20 minutes. But here's it gives you some instructions for what you need to do. So there is the first thing first, which you need to do, like we talked about as part of the requirement. This is the step for you to enable AI search, which you need to do. You must do that, and then you repair your machine learning settings, and then you make sure that you do have the AI agent set up. You can download that really quickly in there, simple as that, and then it allows you to open that up so that you can walk through the lab. I think the other one I have is for the AI agent lab documentation, which is to download. So I think I would open it up. I already have that there. While I wait for it to go. So I'll go to my downloads really quickly, and then okay, the build, I think AI agents one. So AI. Okay, so okay, be the AI agent labs. Okay, then I think another one is the other one is which one? I think it's the other one is which one? Administration, I think. Okay. Or just the AI agents. So this is configure AI agents. Okay. Okay, and then the other one is administer. Okay. Just to configure AI agent. Okay, and then this is administration. And then this is the build. Okay. We already had that. I think this is the AI search one. Okay. All right. So this is the community. All right. Good deal. So here, I'm going to wait a little bit for this to become available. You can click on it, you will see it will tell you it's hibernating. So normally it takes anywhere from 15 minutes to 20 minutes for it to wake up. So just that's that. But the process is this. While we wait on that to come through, I would go through to the presentation to be able to actually request an upgrade on the PDI, which before we get into the AI demo one, and then we'll do the ATF test one also on there, so that way it can be going concurrently. So this is the Now Assist resources. So you can also leverage the Now Create ServiceNow implementation methodology, similar to what you have for the Now Best Practice engine. But Now Create, you go in there, you set for AI capability, and then with that, it gives you a list of it gives you the list. So just as an FYI, it will give you a list. So it's one resource. So whether it's your community, developer side, document side, impact, then learning partner, all of these. So with that, you can see these are everything that has to do with AI. So for example, over 3 success packs and then 170 assets that you can use. So readiness, so checklist or templates, see implementation guide, they're all here. They're all here to make your life easy. So just as an FYI, also there is the FAQs from the community. Like we said, ServiceNow community is huge. It's ready available for you. Victor is the senior PM on there in that AI space. So different products that are there. There's AI Academy that you can always go take a look. It's also there. So resources that are helpful there. This is the information about the release on the bundle for Zurich, which you can go. It shows you, the list of it for Now Agents, how to reference it, the different roles and things and what have you not. All of this is just resources that are helpful that will drive you, your AI experience, the different AIs, whether it's large language models or the Now Assist one or the AI agents, data kit, skill kit, right? The control tower, natural language understanding, natural language query, predictive intelligence, right? Machine learning, tax intelligence, doc intelligence, the whole thing. So there's a lot of resources that are there you need to leverage them. That's why they are built for you. So now those are the courses that we talked about within Now Assist one, right? Now Assist AI agents, whether it's configure one. So give yourself time, but try and go experiment. Do experiments, very important. Very, very important. So, you belong to a lot of communities, whether it's ServiceNow community or whether it's the dev community, they're all there. So Zurich release, shout out to the dev advocates, so Alan, Lauren, Christy, Travis, Laszlo, and Earl. They came on the episode 100 of Tech Now, and then they showed the products within that ServiceNow's latest and greatest release. The early availability is out there, so take your PDI for a spin, which we're going to do right now. They had products that are looked at for, say, the source control for integrations and file navigation, especially within that. And all of that is within ServiceNow Studio. There's also the infusion of this SDK for Fluent, especially managing third-party libraries for building and maintaining applications. Automated tests, the one we'll look at, there's a lot of over 56 new quick start tests. What are those? They help to provide more coverage to much more use cases or much more product areas so that it reduces your upgrade time. So upgrade, or anytime you make any change or implement within ServiceNow platform, you want to make sure you have a robust testing. That way you make sure that nothing that is built is going to break what's there already. So that's what testing helps you do. So you could see, remember we said analyst, you could be a quality assurance analyst or quality assurance engineer or quality assurance tester. You're also there as a business analyst or process analyst or business process consultant. You're providing UAT demo or user acceptance testing demo, where you actually display or go ahead and do a hands-on feel for what has been built by your team to the requester or the product owner or the business requesting that. So there's a lot of changes on, like, for example, UI builder or component builder in there and data binding. There's mobile app builder that is also there. So, web to mobile component that is also there. Workflow Studio, reusable schedule trigger, dev sandboxes, Now Assist for creators. So there's a lot of upgrades and updates to applications in there. This is just a handful, right? But there is a lot of information that is there that will be helpful. We're going to do an upgrade to Zurich for our PDI one, and then we'll take a look at the ATF test and demo once we begin. All right. So those are the two demos that we have. So I would go ahead and pull that up. On that one, it's here already. This is my PDI. I will come in there, take a look. It's in Yokohama. So all I do is click on upgrade. So here, this is the Zurich release. So I could also go to Yokohama Part 6, but Zurich is the latest and greatest and newest with latest capability. I can read information in the release notes so that way I want to be up to date for what is there or what are the changes coming. It's good to take a look. There is you go on that Zurich one, then you see while it pops up, you would now see that product changes. So release note upgrading from Yokohama, changes by the product. You could take a look. It's once it pops up, you now take a look. Combine product features and changes. You could take a look. Features, then summaries, whether it's for AI experiences, you can see them, whatever changes. So what's new there, you're able to go read it, developer sandboxes. So a ton of stuff. Like I said, they just, scratch the surface with a few things that are really interesting for developers or creators, but go take a look. There's a lot. Oh, sure thing. So go take a look. It's a lot of capabilities, that you can use, but it's as simple as that. All that's needed is come in here, click on that, upgrade, make your selection, and then upgrade the instance. It takes a couple of minutes, right? But they would email you back to let you know once it's ready. They're upgrading the instance, right? It will take a minute for that to happen. Just be mindful there. Okay, that's okay, yeah. I think this should be ready. Just go click on that, close this so we can begin. So I'm just waiting for the system to come in. It takes a couple of minutes. Like we talked about, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, then you will get the lab spun up. So if you're registering for the course for the first time, it could be in some cases where you do it, it takes about 45 to 1 hour. Sometimes if they do not have a lab instance that they can have spun up, because the way the labs work, especially now compared to before, you could have multiple, because all of these are compute resources. You could have multiple labs working at any given goal, but now you are limited to 2, which you can have concurrently running. Even in the 2, you have a particular amount of days you need to finish. So the expectation is when you register for these courses, you are expected to, maybe if it's 5 days, if it's 7 days, it will provide you the duration or the expectation for you to, it provides you the expectation for you to go in there and complete the course. If you do not, it gets reclaimed, then you can come in there and request a new instance, just in case. Like in this case, for example, we are told we have 3 days or 13 hours, 35 minutes before it gets to be expired. I have up to 2 times to extend it, and that will mean 7 instances that will be available for me to use. You can get more info about it here, but just in case, you can request an extension. Maybe if for some reason you don't finish it by that time, you can come in here and then do that. So here now, I am told that the first task is to enable the AI search one. This is the AI search admin. You need to go in there to do it. So here, I would just need to come in here, log out. Takes a couple of minutes, then the logout screen should pop up. That way it allows me the opportunity to log back in. So I think it's taking some time for some reason. So just a heads up, it's gonna log out. It's gonna log me out. This is the logout opportunity.
Prof,
Go ahead.
please, you mentioned infusion of SDK. Can you throw more light on that? Infusion of SDK in your previous slide.
Right. Great question. So that is for you to use for building applications or maintaining applications. If you're used to what we call the command line development or custom application development, you'll be able to use that. So you can come in there, like we said, reference or the guide. You can see managing app and its components. You can see for next level or building custom app. But if not, you can always go to that product document just type it all out in there. Or even when we had the, what's it called, release notes, you would see the SDK one. It has to do with managing the build and maintenance of applications. So whether you're building them within custom third-party libraries, so external sources, things like that, you're able to actually maintain them now, even within ServiceNow. So, but that's for the most part. But great question. I'm loving it. Great question. So these are links to them, so we can all the way up there. The SDK is SDK. That's mobile SDK, right? ServiceNow SDK. You can see Visual Studio Code, right? But the whole idea is software development kit. That's what it is. So it will help you. You're maintaining, especially custom builds, right? Scoped applications, managing their source control. That's really what it is. But you can always get the information that you need on the particular one in there. So whether it's the the Java library or so that you can see the different artifacts or things that you can use, for you to be able to build and maintain the applications, whether it's for mobile or whether it's for even the apps in themselves. You would see that. You would see that that's a command line. That's what we talk about, right? So you use Fluent, but all the information you need to build and maintain your application from the source code, you can see them there. But great question. I'm loving it. But it's, App Engine Studio. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff with resources. All right, so great stuff. I think this should be log out. Okay, so the logout is here. It's just taking its time. So I'll just do this. I'll do login. So everything all the way to the right, I'll take it down under the URL. So I'll login.do. So wait, login.do. It takes a couple of minutes. It should be up in there. All right, it's just taking its time. So it's just slow for some reason. Exit the page. Exit. All right. For some reason, it's just slow. For some reason. Login. For some reason, it's just taking forever. That's the login page. So AIS lab.admin. The username and password is provided there in there, just in case never. But like I said, transparency instructions. Even if you go to product document and you're looking for AI agents, it will show you and then give you the opportunity so that way you're not in doubt. So here you're just going to go through the steps. So repair machine learning. Once you come in, it should log you in already. So this is it. So that way you make sure that you have it. Repair machine learning, and then you would see it to tell you repair the AI search capability. You can also request AI search, especially if it's not already turned on, because it needs to be on for your system to work. So this is the pop out. Letting me know. So it does take a minute. So that's it here. Repair your machine learning. So model prediction AI search repairs them. All right. But you need to make sure that you are the AI search administrator for you to do that. Just take a couple of minutes. Then this would be available to you to tell you the machine learning setting is complete. So this will be popped up once it's done. The reset. Once it's done, the reset. So just 1 minute. So I'm just waiting for it to come in. So now the reset is done. Tells us It's been reset. So now we're going to go and validate this by going to AI search, and then we'll look for AI search is ready. Just to verify it, AI search status. We'll check that out, AI search. So you can see the status, for example. Come do that really quickly. Click on that search status. You verify to tell you AI search is ready for use. All right, so now you're able to actually go to your search query settings to search preview. You would see that, and then now you can actually search the applications, so you can make any selection, and then you should see the search capability get to be pulled out. So you can go ahead and that's that search preview one. You can go ahead and get it done, or as part of that AI search capability. Once it pulls out, you can test it for the AI search one. So for example, you use that, like we talk about 3 characters or 3 dots for most search that you have, you should be able to, but after selecting any of the search profiles, so you could do a search profile. So whether it's, for example, incident assist or whichever one of them it is, you would see it's supposed to give you some predictions. If you have issues, you can clear your cache on your browser also. So this is the one. So these are all the profiles that are there. So if you wanted to, you can see whether it's for the portal or for Now Assist or Virtual Agent, whichever one of it is that you want. So Incident Assist, for example, what it is you just type there, you should see like you're searching, right? And then it will show you. Okay, so it couldn't find one in that. Or we can take a look at the Gen AI filter. I'll do that one. All right, you can see it, right? It gives you, I'm signing off. So it gives you, that it gets data, tells you how long it took, whatever information. There are a lot of search profiles, whether it's for the portal, whether it's Now Assist, Virtual Agent, whichever one it is, just go ahead, do your search. Whichever one it is, whichever profile you select. Or you can do quick action knowledge base, whichever one you select. Just you go ahead and test it. It'll show you the information that it can find and how long it took to process. So this one is done. This whole one is done. There's nothing else that you need to do. So at this point, so all that you need to do would be to exit that one. And then now you can go ahead and what's it called? You can go ahead and log back out of it, and go back to your admin user. So just as an FYI, so that way you can get that full build AI agent. So that way you can get that experience. So just for the most part, yeah, I would go. This is, yeah, I'll close that one. Just a minute. Yeah, this is administration. I'll close that for now. Okay, this is that. This is good. Okay, just do that. So this is the one we were talking about. This is configure. I think we're working on build one. Okay, so this is the admin user, just as an FYI. That's why we did that. So this is the build the AI agent one. So this is the build one, I believe. This is administered. This is build done. Okay, so that's all we need. All right. Okay. So now in the build AI agent, the instructions are clear for us. Here we're told what to build. So the summary is that you're curious what it takes to build an AI agent that can reason, adapt, and act on its own. Here you're looking at the tools that you have that you can use to actually resolve it. And then you build your own AI agents within the ServiceNow platform. The requirements for these to be on, we would see we have already turned one on. Like we have for the the search capability. Already, once we have that open, you can see the Now Assist panel one. So you would see that Now Assist capability is there. So the panel is already turned on for use. Remember, we talked about it. Then already the build one, you can get the build information stats.do. So statistics.do, you would see it will show you the build. So for example, we have the Yokohama release that we are on for us to be able to utilize the capability. So now you're able to make sure that you're in global and you can start to build. We would see the AI Agent Studio. We can verify it, that we have that there set up. And then all that is there with that is AI Agent Studio. So AI Agent, so you type it out, you would see AI Agent Studio. So I'm going to make that favorite so that way I get all of that. But even if you type just AI or Now Assist, you would see the whole Now Assist offering. So you could do AI and then it will show you, or you could do the Now Assist we talk about. It will give you, like we said, Now Assist data kit, for example. And then if you get to the home, you would see the data. Remember, the application, it will show, so long as you have the permission. So you're clicking on whatever application, you're seeing it in the context. So the context menu, the AI search one, setting up, you will see the Now Assist admin console will set up, the admin center where you're setting up all these Now Assist generative AI skills. You go ahead and get those in there. The custom skill too as well is all in there. So just as an FYI. But we're going to go with our, this is the Now Assist skill one, just to take a look, to walk you through whether you browse for the applications, right? Then whether it's for customer service, HR, or IT, whichever one it is, it will show you, the summary where you can look at what plugin is installed or what's not. Like in this case, we can see, we can review the others, then it can tell you the status of them. So it can show you usage, all the number of actions or no actions. You can have a checklist for the journey, which it will tell you the thing. So install the application. So which is that plugin, you go to the store or you request it from ServiceNow, you turn on that panel. If the panel is not on, you can always use the click link to go to it. Then you look at the particular skill. Then you can make sure that you're reviewing and analyzing as you use it. So checklist steps, walkthrough. So in here, we're going to go and start building really quickly. So I have it on my AI Agent Studio, your playground for managing that, building out the AI agents. So we're going to go ahead and start to build. Create and manage, it tells us. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So once it comes in through, overview starts to let me know so I can explore. So these are some of the use cases we talk about, which is those workflows. So you can see it, incident trend analyzer, next best action recommender, steps for issues. So all of that is a problem. ServiceNow has built this thing and it gives you even documentation so that you can go see the one. They have them shipped out baseline. You can just go open it, review it, get it ready. So here you can see what it is. And then these are the steps. You create your use case, which is your problem that you're trying to solve. You create the agent. Then you test your agent and deploy it. ServiceNow gives you testing ground. So if you take a look, create and manage it is here. All the way up top, different tabs. You test it there. These are the AI agents there. You can test it. It will tell you, are you testing the use case or particular agent in itself, the bot, which in the use case, you can see the tab also for you to go to the agent itself while you're building it out. Because you need to, like we talk about, it's part of a workflow. It needs to be orchestrated or tied together for it to work seamlessly without that human intervention. Then settings is to get it, all prepped up, like we talk about, whether it's that offensive nature, right? Now Assist Guardian. You want to check for that? It's as simple as that. Do you want it to log, or you want it to also have to, if it's not only logging, you want to be able to export it, you can change that. If like in the edit, it allows you, do you want to block it and then log it also? It's there. All it is, it's easy like that. You just, as you're making your change, you're saving it. Simple like that. As you make your change, you see, turning it on, turning it off. That's all. Pump injection that we talked about. It's as simple as that. Which AI, which virtual agent is being used? It's as simple as that. Configure it to open it up. You select the which experience that's being used, which virtual agent. You take a look. That's all this thing is. And they give you information so that it will help you too. So just as an FYI, so here now, under that, I'll go back to the overview one, and then no, not here, not here now. So I'll go to the history again and go back to the AI agent and manage one. So create and manage, and then we'll get to our business. So start to build it really quickly because we don't have time. So in this case, we have one. It's we have to build our use case first. So which is that workflow. And then here you are given the information. So knowledge expert. So you can copy it and put it in a notepad, for example, for what you need it to do, so that way, if you want it that way, you can do it a set of instructions. You know, I always do that. You know, that way it makes my life easy. So that way, once I'm building my part-time, you know, I have most of the instructions or information that I need, and then all I would be doing is just coming in here just to validate with images and things like that. So I like to do that, but it's all up to you. So the first one is there. So I'll go ahead and do that build one first. So I think this is the agent. So just a minute here. Okay, this is the AI agent one. This is the now assist one. Close the now assist. So here, all you're needing to do would be click on new under use cases, which is that workflow. The agents in themselves are going to build in the agent the next step. So here you can duplicate the existing one using that, whether it's for agents or not, you can duplicate any one of them. Creating new is a new, just click on that. And then, you know, we have that our, you know, notepad information says to describe the, you know, your agent. So for example, just a minute. Just a minute. So knowledge expert, so just go ahead and copy that really quickly. Review it, you're giving it the description for what you want it to do, so that you can start to build that out. And then already I'm already in global, but you can always verify it as all it is, just to confirm. So these are the instructions. You have to tell your agent what you want it to do. So here you just pick that information and then put that in the instruction box. And then you can see the next things to do is to connect to your agent, which already, if you had existing agent, you select. If not, you can always more actions and then to build, you know, create a new agent, or you can, you know, while we go up top, it allows you when you save and continue to do that too. Here are suggestions. If you want the AI system, like we said, so long as you have that now assist capability, you can go ahead and have it suggest within its whole AI tools. So the AI agent, it will suggest an AI agent for you too. It can do that. So, but here now we're done with creating the use case. Here, all you're needing to do is to go ahead and save and select. So just save that in here. So the triggers and all that, you know, for now, you're not going to be able to do any of that. Here, you're going to go ahead and save that all the way to the end. So just save. If you wanted to have it in now assist panel based on the instructions, but you don't need to, you know, yet. It just means that so that you can actually use the panel to actually test for it. So that's where you're able to take a look and then get that, flowing for a spin. And then for the most part, if you want it in the assist, you just turn it on, that's all. If you want it in the assist. So this is the test part. So you can either, test agent or your use case. So knowledge expert, for example, I don't have an agent tied to it. I don't have it as part of the workflow. It's just my problem statement, if you will. So there's really nothing for me to do. Here now I can go back to the create and manage one. That way I should see my knowledge expert there, on that list. If you don't find it, maybe it's all the way at the bottom, just flip the sort order for a created date, updated date one. You should be able to do it. It should bring that up. And then now here you can go ahead and open this up and start to build the agent there, or you can just go to the AI agent one for the next phase of the build experience. But for the most part, that one is done. So this part for building out the use case is completed already. You already have your set instructions and stuff. Now, the only thing you need to now go ahead to do is to now go ahead and build the AI agent there, which is the second part of it. So here you're told that you can go ahead and go from the use case, or you can go ahead to the AI agents panel or pane or tab to go ahead to get it set up. So these are the set of instructions. You go ahead and copy it. And then this is the instruction that you save and continue. You add your tools information. You just save and continue for now. And then you define its availability in the assist one, and then save and test, and then you're done. So, but the core instructions is here. So this is all that it is. I'm going to select Control A and then Control V to paste what I have. Here, I'm able to select my agent studio, which is where we are already. I'm going to select AI agent one, and then I will start by creating new. And then I would work with the details that I'm provided. I mean, you can build your own for custom one, but try out the ones that are existing. Then based on whatever use case you have, you can see how to frame it so that you can actually come ahead and build it. But you need to remember, you can't use it in a PDI. So come in here, come into the ServiceNow University, whether it's the create agent or configure agent or build agent or administer agent, go there, the PDIs will come with them, so you can go ahead and build for what you want to and test it. Just make sure that you have some sample data or what, maybe you can connect it to retrieve information from the internet. So like use a search or open any of that. That should work out for you. So here now, like you talk about, you can go ahead and select that to manage your agents, which is what we had all the way up top. Now we have to put our AI agents, fill out their name. So now we are describing our knowledge agent is the name of our agent. So that's the information we need. We put that in there. Then the description, you're going to go ahead and put in your description. So describing what you're wanting, the agent to do. So you have all of that details there. You can verify it so that that is the thing. Then this is for the role. So just as an FYI, so that way you're not pretty much making any errors or whatever. So here we're asking it to rewrite a knowledge article. So whatever article you get, want to rewrite it in a particular manner. So you go ahead and put the role and the instructions. So the role one, you copy that information. And then you paste that there. And then the instructions, you get this. These are the step-by-step guidance. Step one, retrieve the article based on the number value. Rewrite that knowledge article in the voice and spirit or language syntax of Abraham Lincoln. Save the rewritten knowledge article under the revised knowledge. This is a variable which is being put out here. And then you return that value when being asked. So here you can see that revised one, when a user asks, you need to be able to approve. So changes that need to be done on them or not. And then you will follow through, whether if the user says yes, go ahead. If they say no, you stop. So you follow through with it. So similar fashion, you go, you copy that, pop that over the instruction box, you put that in there. The whole steps is there, and then you're done. All you're needing to do is to save. Once you have that ready, which is what you're asked to do, save and continue, save and continue, and then you define your availability, and then you're done. Save and test, and then this concludes that part of it. So you're doing that, save and continue, so you can see the tools one. Like we talk about, you just make sure you want it available in the panel too. You're done. You go back there to the create and manage one, because now the final thing, you already have your use case, you have your agent. Now you need to fill that agent with tools. Right? The instructions are there. Now, what tools should they utilize? That's the point, right? Like we talk about different things that your agent can do. So here is the part. You're going to build a tool or two. So here you're going to look at, you're going to create and manage one, and then you're going to open your agent, and then you're going to add the tools within the tools information, and then you can use a script. So catalog item, conversation, they're all there that can be utilized. So just for the most part, I'm just going to go really quickly. All right. And then we'll come back for the, I think we'll come back here for the script one. All right. So here I'll begin really quickly. So to get knowledge article is what we have. So all you're needing to do is to go back in there. Like before, you can go to your agent, you open the agent that you just created. You can, once it's done and it's opened, it should open up. It's just taking some minutes. Like I said, there are different ways. So for example, I had not added this because you need to align it eventually. You can do it that way. So that way you can do this. You can, just a minute, for some reason it's a little slow. Here you're opening that. In there, you can add your AI agent to connect it. That AI agent that you did, that knowledge expert agent is there. But it's not yet complete. So just as an FYI, that's why it's not there yet. So, but under manage and stuff, if you go back in there, it's just as slow. So if you go there, click on your AI agent one, then you open the agent. That's all you need. And then you go to the tool section because you're done with this one, the instructions and stuff. You can either go to the tool one just by clicking there, or you just click on continue and next. And then under the tools, you just go add tools. So you click on that, it shows you so script. And then based on the information that we have, so we are told, to select the scripts, then this is it. To get the article is the name of the script. Many a time you want to make sure that, as you do what you do, you are ensuring that you don't have, spaces, although the system checks too. But, while you're doing it, you're ensuring that, that's done. So the script input, you need to select the add to put the number and then the description. Okay. So the number and the description. So you just go ahead. The name, number, which is based on, remember the instructions that we had. Then the description is knowledge article number. You can copy it too if you want. Just make sure, like we talk about, that's what it should be, knowledge article number. That's all it is. So now the script is what you need to put in here, which we're going to go back to get. This is the script here. You can copy the whole thing, that you have in the box. And then, you paste that over there. So here, click inside of it, Control A, and then Control V, same thing. So in there, you can also, it will allow you to format the code. So you can do that. All right, when you're there, just remember that. And then here is where you control the execution mode. You want to have human supervision. You want to be able to use autonomous, to allow the system run on its own. You do that here. The display, do you want it to display the output or not? And then here it allows you to transform the data. So for example, do you want to be verbose? Do you want to be concise? Do you want it to be paraphrased? Here is where you control that. So all of that is within your input, whatever tool you have. You have to be able to configure that tool. Creating a field, or you're updating a data or retrieving information. What information? So in this one, I think we already have that. Execution mode is autonomous. No, and none. So here, autonomous, and then no and none. So we are saying that the system should do it automatically. Do you want us to display the value to us? No. And then we don't want any strategy. So just go ahead and pick, as you see this, as you get it. That's what you're telling the system, all right? It shows you that this, so that it's not like it, so you can see it, when you're doing that. And then now you can add another tool again, which is once you're done with the initial add, like we had, you're going to add a second tool too. All right, so that's where you're going to go do the script again. And then this is the script information, because we're almost done. So here is number 11. We will get the information, which we have. So I'll go ahead and select all and then paste over it. And then we do have a script that we need to put too. So we do have a script to put too. So here we're going to do the same. This is for us to retrieve the data. So pretty much the second script is doing that. I'm just going to go really quickly. That's the update script for the knowledge article. I'm just going to do that really quickly. Update the given article number information. Then click on the input. I believe there are 2 of them. If not, you can always delete. So that's that. So I just go put, number is the number, then the body of the article. You can see that number. This is based on what the description is, more like a label, but this is what the system knows, the system name you will have. This is article underscore body, just as an FYI, so because remember, that's the unique one. Any spaces in there is going to definitely put an underscore. So just as an FYI. All right. So long as there's no spaces, just be mindful. Then now you put your text information, all right, that you're going to do. So here, you're just going to go copy the what we have. All right, that's it. And then Control V to paste it over it, and then format it. That's all. So now is where, you know, you make sure your strategy is right. So supervised, you
So,
wanted this.
what's the main reason for formatting?
Go ahead.
What's the main reason for formatting it?
So here's the thing. So remember you copied them. Formatting it is just to make sure that any spaces or any things that was missed where you put it, it's just like once you put that in, it will now correct those spaces. Because sometimes the space might make it not even run, maybe because at that point it's now in a different, the syntax is off, which just means the way its structure is, or the way where you should see exactly the text immediately. It's not saying that it's in a space. It will now look as though you left more room for it to do that, and then because of that, it will not run. So just in case you notice that, that's really what it is. You just need to highlight and then make sure that you have the right formatting. But great question. Supervised, and then yes, and then the strategy, you want it to be concise. If you want it to be verbose, it's all you. Concise just makes it smaller. So that's that. And then you have two tools just like that, ready to go. So now all that you need to do is now putting it all together. Putting it all together. So all that is for you to go ahead and open your agent and then allow it by connecting that your AI agent all together in there. So we already started it before, then I stopped. So all you do, you can just go ahead and save all the way, and then go back to create and manage one, and then start from your knowledge use case one, open it and that up. And then in there, if you go to, even right now too, you can even select recommend agent. It should pop up your two agents. It should, because you just finished building it. Based on the, it should recommend that. That's your knowledge agent. And all you need to do is to add. But if not, all you're doing is here. Just click on that, add one, and then you search for your agent. All right. So like I said, different ways. Just click on add. That's it. It just adds your agent there to connect it. So that's that. And then now once you're ready to go, you have to actually go ahead and, you can test it exactly how it is, but you can also define a trigger, which is helpful. All it is it shows you, like in the test, your service, the AI agent test interface, part of that designing, that you should put like a record information for you to be able to test it or use that. So you can go ahead and open this up, which is the ServiceNow AI information, which if you know, okay, that's just a minute. That's okay. I was supposed to copy it and put it in a different flow, that stage 1.5. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to bring it all up. Yeah. So what is AI agent? So just open it in a new tab or window, whatever. And then you want to create a knowledge article about that, just so you can test that with that. That's what that is for. So I think this is the what is the AI agent one. So you can just go to knowledge. So knowledge. So knowledge, you can see knowledge self-service, knowledge, create the article. So standard one, it takes a couple of minutes. The form should pop up. All right, so this is a what is AI agent. So just you can go ahead with the name, copy what is AI agent. And then that will be your description. You can talk about the knowledge base where you want the knowledge to be. What is AI agent? The article body is where we'll paste most of the text. But for the most part, knowledge standard, and then what is the agent? Then you paste the content that you want. Nothing else is required, not just the information. Then you submit, then you take a note of the number, which is what is being asked. So you can make that available. And then this is what you do. You just come in there, you just, the what is AI agent one, you can just go ahead and copy the whole thing there, get to the end if you wanted to, why is it important or why is not. You can copy the whole thing. So it's all there, all the way. All right, that's all it is. So Control V, it will paste the whole thing that we have. All right, that's all it is. You can change your strategy, you can make it concise, you can. So here, I believe is the knowledge base is knowledge, I believe, but just to be sure, you can, I think it was the knowledge standard. Okay. Knowledge is this the knowledge one, so the knowledge base is knowledge. All right, so here just copy the number just for demo purposes. Control A, and then replace Control V. So here I can just go ahead and save it. Remember, because you need to save and then be able to publish it. If not, it's not available yet. So if you have that knowledge centered service, you should have versioning. So there will be version 1, right? So version 1, so something like that. You can remember that way. It will be available there. So just be mindful, FYI one. So now that we have that in there, all you're needing to do is to test your agent. You can go ahead and test them by going to your test ground and say, all you're going to do is you can either go to the AI agent or the use case. So if it's the AI use case one, then you're going to select your use case from here, the knowledge Spark use case. And then that way you can do that, and then you put your test. And so help rewrite, start your test. Couple of minutes. That's all it is. I mean, you would see the system will start to do it, to sense it. That's all it is. That's all the thing is, right? That's all it is. Go to your testing tab, and then you can select your use case or the agent. So you make sure. And it's not going to work if it doesn't, because it will ask you based on that, and the workflow will start. And you can see as it makes sense of it, because it's going to ask you questions. You can see the first part, orchestration, it's ready, so the current task cannot be solved with the available agents and resources. Please review the existing configuration for the agent. So so now it tells us that we should preview their configurations. So I can go ahead and validate that one. To confirm, I already have the I'll do the AI agent rather, but I already had, I think it's not, I had not put my trigger, so that's why it's can't. So I'll use the use case instead, or the AI agents. Help me rewrite this text. That's what I'll use. That's the knowledge agent one. The use case was also knowledge expert, but there's no trigger yet for it, so I'll use this one instead. That's a knowledge expert agent. The orchestrator was successful. The agent will start to ask me a couple of questions. It will start to because I need to set up the trigger for it to pretty much flow like with the flow of work, like we said, the workflow, right? Automation, start from the beginning. First of all, it's communicating. You can see as it makes so reference error encountered while using get this article for this. Need assistance to resolve. So that's one of two things. It queued that already, the second one. So the get user input one, all I need to do is like we talk about, that's why you see, we talk about that formatting, anyway. I'm going to go pull it up for the knowledge article one. So I'm going to go to the configurations. I believe I have it here already. Just a minute. This is the knowledge article. And think that this is the, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the agent. I'm going to go to the knowledge export. I'm going to go to the tools that I have. So here, the get article one, I'm going to go in there and open it. Is the article number. So I'm going to take a look and see. So here, I remember we did do, all I need to do is the same, and then ensure that it's formatted. You can see here, this is the reason why you can do this, because this was missing from here. That's all. You just need to look at it and see. Like I said, that's the error it's having. Save and continue all the way. Right? Save and continue all the way. The AI agent, help revise or review. That's it. And you will see, like I said, that's part of like that's what engineers do. That's what analysts do. You troubleshoot it, but you see it actually in action, in motion. That's why we say go there and experiment. Go there. Do you approve the proposed change to the knowledge article? We already know the knowledge article, right? We already have it open, so that way you can see it for yourself. This is the article initially, right? What is? But now you can now see how to make the modification. You have to approve it. If not, it's not going to go further, right? You have the control. So here, this is it. Here, you say yes. You can say approve. That's all. Because you must say for it to go. If not, no. Approve. Yes, whatever. That's all it is. Takes a couple of minutes. Based on your script, based on your tools. It gives you the knowledge. So if there was an issue, it tells you. So here you can see it. Please check the script outline. Tells me where I need to go. So I need to go back there. Like I said, this is how it's done live. So more than likely it's the same kind of thing. That's why you see a lot of times, and that's more like whether it's your, from documentation or from your, yeah, just you give it feedback. You liked it, the information. So you go to your, the create one. It's having an issue with the agent, the second tool. So you go to the tool information, and the update one, you go there line 21. So if you go there all the way to 21, that's where it's failing. You can see the past error, the update one, knowledge article update information like we had. You can also take a look and test the information that is there. So updates that were made to fail information. So that message is there. This is there. So this is the only reason why. So you can, like we talk about, you can fix it in several ways. So for example, in here, this is one way to do it. You go ahead and put that. This needs to also go back in there. All right, this is all that is needed. This you can move that there. All right, that's all that it is. Like we talk about, that's why, if you want to, when you're putting all of those, you're doing whatever, like see the LLM one, just make sure you knock it off, because that's supposed to be part of this. It's a long text. That's the thing. Here you can, open the more options, you can enable wrapping the text. You can do that if you want to. You can highlight the text, minimize it, different shortcuts. Like I said, different strategy that you would use. Like you can see that one is definitely going to fail. That's that wrapping one. So made the update one or whatever stuff where you do that, just as an FYI. So I'm just gonna go just make sure that there's no enable that one, whatever information. I'll just save it, then save it, and then go. And then knowledge agent one, the expert, that we talk about, review knowledge, right? Like I said, that's what they do, or revise rather. I mean, but it knows what to do, but takes a couple of minutes, but he knows what to do. But just as an FYI, finding the best way, it'll go through it. Takes a couple of minutes. I mean, that's part of the work of you as that technical analyst. You're going to, it's in your workplace. That's really what's going to happen while you're working on it. Sometimes, it might be part of the script. Sometimes it might be one where you go in, maybe it's your subflow. Sometimes, the rewritten knowledge article in the style of Abraham describes AI agents as wise counsel ready to engage. You can view it, the whole thing, the way to write it. Do you like it? It takes a couple of, it shows you so that you have to approve. And compare these to that one, right? The whole thing. The boss, right? But now you can see what you have. You can see what you have. Takes a couple of minutes. It's going, that's it, retrieval engine. Go through the thing, get the knowledge article, and to reason. The action there, get the knowledge article. Based on the knowledge number, was successful. It got that detail, right? Based on getting it, it got the information. Now it's working. This is based on the information that is there, right? Sure, awesome. All right, that's all. But the stuff is ready to go. I need to update that. Are you good to go? Do you approve of it? Sure. Yes. Yes, approve for you to proceed. Takes a couple of minutes. That article is going to work on it. The update was successful. That's it, the end. But if you go back there, you will see a new version. You can see it there now. It says article body updated. You can see a new version out there. Autonomous, without, just like you build your flow or workflow, same way. Same way, the system will go through the thing. System will go through the thing. So if you have any errors, if you have any issues, that's all it is. For the most part, you should see the reasoning, the sensing one. It's all ready to go. If you wanted to proceed, you just say yes or approve, or, if you wanted to, you can go through, you can locate it. You can see that version. That's all it is. That's all it is. You can copy a trigger, maybe make sure yours is different and get it set up where the automation work on its own. Automatically, the agents, you're not testing just individual agents, you're actually testing the workflow, because then you will need that trigger, to run. Do you have questions? Do you have concerns? You go practice, go take a look, go take it for a spin. It's all here available to you. There's that's the build agent we did, or rather the configure is there also, but that's the build one that we did, I believe. That we had. but you can, for the most part, see what exactly it is or what it does for you. Yeah, that's the building of the agent one. So you can go there. For the most part, that's what it does for you. You can go ahead and whether if you want to, like we talk about, get a copy of one that already exists, based on it. But just like you would do for any requirements, you write it down step by step, right? You said you need what the business problem you're trying to solve. Then you look at what's the set of instructions. So like you have the instructions, you have the role, you now go ahead and tie it all together. It's all neat. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. I think this is a Yokohama one. So before we get to the other, before we get to that, I would do the automated testing so that by default, ServiceNow best practice for automated test are there. We can see the tests that already exist. There are, we talk about quick start tests that are available there already. Those quick start tests, you can see it's only 17, right? But definitely in your Xanadu, you have much more than that. Like we talk about, we have 56 additional tests, taking that coverage to over 70. That way you can see, right? You can get it there, additional that you would go to, just for the most part. I believe this should be, let me take a look. If it's not ready, I'd have one that is already in Xanadu, in Yokohama. This is Yokohama, right? And then it's been upgraded. So I would do this. I would open an incognito one, just so that you see the quick start test or sample test. If you're in your PDI, developer.servicenow. So if in your PDI, remember it's your playground. Go there, take it for a spin, break stuff, fix stuff. Practice for sure. That's what you get to do. I would go ahead. I believe my one of my instances, I have them in that environment already. So that way you can see. Automated test is only done in lower environments, so that way as you go ahead to, okay, good deal. So I would go ahead, take it a look. This is Yokohama. This is Ace Brothers, Yokohama. Is it? Just a minute. Okay, just give me 1 second here. Okay. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay. Oh, this is DC. Okay, just a minute. It does take a little minute. I know I have a couple of them around. I think I have the one that is supposed to be in Washington, DC already. The upgraded one. I have a bit of them around like that. I use that to test the different capabilities, whether it's for integration or whether it's I do test it, whether it's for integration or whichever capability it is. I would try to test it out, make sure before before it's actually deployed that I have a good grasp of it, so that while I'm whether it's demoing it to my my stakeholders, I'm very much aware of it, and then what to expect, while I work, with my stakeholders. So that way they can see it. Yeah, this should be Zurich. Yeah. So takes a couple of minutes. It should be in there, and then you would see it for yourself first. And the whole idea is there's much more coverage. There's much more coverage in there. So we're going to go to automated testing. And then like we talk about, this is a sandbox, which normally it's in the automated testing. It's in your lower environments that you would see. So I'm going to go. So quick start test. So that way we'll see the quick start test. You would see we have we have that. If we take a look, we have we still have the 17 of them look here, but the whole idea, there's an introduction of 56 new ones. But this is the Yokohama one. The quick start test. There's tests that are here, like you would see for different application areas for automated testing. So for example, we have you can see 51 here, that we have. So whether you can see for application development, you can see for assessment, this is for change. You can take it, you can take a look. So let's say we do incidents, for example, incident. So this is incident. So if we take a look, you see incident ATF. If you open that one, you would see really quickly. You can see the first one. So if you open it up, you will see ServiceNow has a lot of coverage already with tests or suites of tests. So like in this case, this is all for the incident application. So if you open that up, we have over 16 individualized tests there, but they are part of the test suite capability. You can run them in there. Normally you would have to make sure that you have a copy in the right application scope. Then you can see it's part of the quick start test one. So something like reopening an incident, creating a change. So your processes for testing should be different. What do I mean? I mean, ServiceNow is going to cover these bits. So anything unique to your own system is the one you should test for. So that way, ServiceNow, these ones, you just go enable them, just update it with your company variables or whatever, which is just your company data, and then make sure that that's what it is, and then you do that. You can test for anything. It's very easy. We're going to build one out really quickly here. You can see problem and changes is the same one that we saw before. So if you do problem 2, you would see problem area for automated testing. You would see the problem ATF, right? You will see them there. So if you open it up, you would see over 22 tests coverage for problem. So ServiceNow is making sure that the tool is there, faster time to value, faster updates, faster time for your upgrades, right? Minimizing downtime or any issues that you have with your system. So you have no choice. You have no choice. You have no choice. Automated testing, there's a lot of there's test templates which you can create yours. What it is the steps that are there for getting the data. So whether it's for creating a new user in the system or whether it's for you to be able to, for example, submit a form, for example, you can also create test suite, which is a grouping of the test. You just need to know. A lot of times you need to remember impersonate user is always the initial goal, but a best practice recommended by ServiceNow is the use of create a new user, right? Create a new user, just as an FYI. Just as an FYI. So to make sure that you have this working, you go to administration properties, you need to enable these two in your instance. Without that, you cannot use automated tests. You need to enable these two checkboxes so that you can get those going. And what that does, you need to remember that part of that, there is a client test runner, which is just providing you with an environment, a run environment where you can run client-side actions, things like opening forms, things like clicking on fields, filling field values. You need to have a client runner like this open for that to happen. So you can schedule it. ServiceNow provides you that capability. So we would do one really quickly. We would do like an ITIL one really fast. So I'll just do ITIL. So that way you would see, and then self-service user test really quickly. So it will be short, but I'll try to cover the basis for us to see. So for example, you can have a self-service user. They come in there. They can either use the service catalog, or they can use the employee center to request help, or they can go create incidents directly, which you would see something like this is what they see. They see the you know, they're just you can see the form in itself, what it look like, right? They're only allowed to put a short description, if you will, and then their color detail, which they already have. You can also see it in the catalog for what it is. They see a view that is self-service view, so that you can remember. The ITIL view sees more. So the ITIL would see the backend, which is this, and then they would see the service desk application. So something like your service desk technician. So they would come in there, they are able to see the service desk. And then there also in service desk, you see the incidents too as well. So they are able to see that. And then you can see the view is different. It's a default view. So there are more fields that they can see. Even the form, when they open the form up, they are able to fill out a lot of stuff. But the same way you can see color, you can see category, you can see, you know, that they have access to doing. So just as an FYI, so it's simple like that. So creating a test, you know, we will go to that favorite one. I think we have automated test there. So automated test, I will click on test. So creating those two tests. So just creating new, clicking on that really quickly. So my new, I can say ITIL test. You can see ITIL, or I can do self-service user first. All right, so here I'll save it. It takes a couple of minutes. It allows me to be able to go ahead and set it up. So the test steps are there, test templates is there. So test step, I could talk about creating user is a good one. You know, you can see impersonate the test steps, step-by-step guidance for what to do. So a lot of times when you're creating the test cases or test scenarios, you write it all out so that you're coming here and putting it in there. So self-service user. So in here, you can see there's no role. You could tie it to a role, a particular role they need to have for them to be able to do a lot of things. So normally what will happen is it will impersonate that user as well. So the next step we want to do is for them to fill out a form, right? So you can type out form, and then you can see, you can open the form. Like for example, if you wanted them to fill it out in the portal one, you can do that too. All right, but that's the beauty part. So I'll just go ahead, and then it goes up that it's after that initial one. So now what do you want them to do, right? It's incident, so it defaults to the user table, but you go ahead and make your selection for the table you have access to, right? Incident is the most used and abused, especially for demos. Just be mindful. They're even for just like import set and then the table API, which incident is part of the tables that we access. Here you put ESS, which is the view that exists in the system. View, if you type UI and you look for views, you would see under the UI, I just, so that way we will see the view. So that way you see it. This is the view. You can look, type self-service. You will see, all right, self-service. That's really what it is. Because different view shows the different parts or types of the form that you have access to be able to view. So now you're going to set the field values, which it shows you as part of the forms, the things you can. If it's in the portal, you will still get that capability because you need to set the field values. You can validate which fields are mandatory or which ones are not. Set the field values is there, is next. It comes up. You can set the field value and you can just go ahead and submit, like pretty much for the most part. Just as an FYI, I know we had a couple of them. You're submitting for the first time, you see the submit button. You can submit form. So you set field value like this. You can confirm that the field is mandatory. Look, like for example, the short description one is mandatory. You can do that. when you're trying to fill that out, just as an FYI. So just so that we're there. All it is that I'm just going to go. The color is who we set up, so you can validate that by buying this. It could be anyone else. That's a user that's called in there. You can do that. Then now you can go ahead and say the name of this is the self-service test. Right, self-service test, non-ITIL user. Here now you can go ahead and submit your form, just really easy. But if not, you can validate that the field is mandatory. So for example, you could do that check. Like here now, mandatory, we know that the short description is a mandatory field, right? Color is mandatory. You can do any of the fields there. So here, the last step is to add the field. Normally, you just go ahead and submit the field to submit the form, submit the form. That's all, so that we can really go really quickly. Do we have questions though? Form submitted. You can check for UI visibility. There's so much. All you need to do is run the test. The client runner is already open. It's the current session, which is that one. You can click on run. It will start to run the test. It will show. You can come in here and then you verify it, as it's going through its session. So as it bumps up, you will see it will walk through what it's doing. And then you need to have that open so that it will walk through as it is. But the point is, when it's done, it's going to roll back the steps. So that's why we're doing it in a sub-production. You don't want to go to production because it's going to be creating the records. And then these records can actually be ones where you can see step 4. It's already done and really fast. It's already done really fast. It tells you if it passes or fails, success. Steps, impersonate that user, create that user, make sure they have the role. Voila. Success, test passed, ready to go. That's it. Screenshots, it captures images so that you know. Captures images so that you know. Tells you how long it does. Tells you the browser it's using. The test step, whichever step failed or didn't fail, it will tell you. Tells you. So here, I can make a copy of this one. So for example, I'm going to open this record and really quickly, and then this is what we do, copy. So now here is I'm going to update the name, for example. So my ITIL test, so I'm going to do ITIL, user test. I'm going to remove this one. So here, you can see where I copied it. Here, creating the user, I will need to go into edit them. So I'm going to go save this one first, and then I'll go into this one. And then here now, I'm going to take away the user. I'm going to take away, put the ITIL user. I'm here, I'm going to set up the role, ITIL. They need to have the ITIL role, so they need to see the back end of the form. You can see it impersonates the user automatically. So now I'm opening the form. I have more capability than not self-service, so I'll take this off or I just type default. I can see the default part of the form, which is the back end. So I will just take that out because if I do not type that, you can see the default one that we talk about. You could see it there. So if I don't put that there, then it's going to also go back to it. So whether I put it or not. Here now I'm able to set those values that we want. So now I know it's an ITIL user one. So all I'm needing to do is to come in here, click on delete here. This one, just here, this one, and then update this one to the ITIL user test one. So ITIL test. The color the same way we did that before. Just make my selection. Then now I can change my channel, for example. So I can say channel is the virtual agent or channel is the email or phone, whatever. So I could do that. So, but this one I would say channel is phone. And then I would say category, I would say rather than inquiry, I want to make a category maybe software. I'll click on update. I can validate these values though, if we wanted to, because this person is able to see more. So for example here, this short description one is fine. So here, I can go ahead and validate that by adding a step after the set field or before the field state validation. So just so that there's this field values validation. So I could go ahead and put that. I can say where I want it to be. So I can say that I want it to be before this one. So instead after this step. Takes a couple of minutes. So now this is the form. It shows me what are the things I want to validate. I want to say maybe color, for example, like I can, or let me just do category because we made it category change. So I would say category. Another thing you need to remember is if you are validating and then short description is ITIL test, right? I'm just putting to short description contains or is or starts with ITIL, right? So you can do that. I can put all the fields there, but I'm just putting this ones just so that you know. So here the condition, what you're saying, this needs to be valid, or matters. So what you're doing is just saying that this was set. You want this to be verified. So after this is that, you want this to be verified. So this is ITIL test. This is ITIL test. You can verify. Okay, I can say the channel is phone software, right? So channel is phone, maybe I can put that. I can make it fail. In fact, let me do the first one, let it fail. I'll do that one really quickly so that way you can see it too. And channel is virtual agent. So that you can build failure into it. Channel is virtual agent. You can build a failure, it will tell you no, it will let you know. But that's done. Everything is ready. All I need to do is run it. Considering this is a copy of the other. Takes a couple of minutes. And then if I open this up, it starts to pop it up really quickly, really fast. And you see it as it goes through it. It starts to fill it out. As it creates those users, as it fills it off. That way you would see now it's about to fill it because it's going to validate that information. So that information will be off. You have a different values there rather than what it is. So that's why you're going to see it now. Go ahead and fill. Because when it goes to test, what it should find, virtual agent is not there, so it's going to fail. That's why you would see it, as it goes through. But those are scenarios or things that you can go ahead to do and verify. Build some failure in there. You can test whether it's catalog items. You can test even AI agents. You can test. You've seen it. Systems gives it to you. You can test every and anything in the system. You can go take a look. You can see it, right? It will go. It's waiting. But definitely this is phone, right? We put it as virtual agent. It will check it for whatever step. But we are done. It's really straight caught out for you. You can see, right? It will fail, for the most part, considering that it will roll back the steps. So that's part of why it fails it back, because if you can see, it will tell you. You can fill it. So test failed. Why? The field value validation, software, and short description starts with ITIL. The form did not match the condition. Channel is not virtual agent. The sum did not, that's where he failed it there. He failed it there. You can open it and then update that just to make sure we know that, okay, this is supposed to be phone, right? That's all it is. It tells you where it failed. So now I can go ahead and open that test result one and stuff, and then it allows me, any additional information. It tells me, so that way, in case I'm missing it, the transactions that, if you will, the success, the failure one. But where's the just a minute, so that way you can also run just the failed test too, or you can rerun the whole thing. You can open it up. You can rerun the failed test, or you can rerun the whole scenario, if you will. You can do that. The transactions, it tells you, just as an FYI. All right. So you can see the failure one, the failure of the test run. You can see if it allows you to hold it indefinitely or not. The transactions is capturing it. All right. So just as an FYI. So I'm going to open the test in itself. So you can see the test results, the failure one. You can open that where we're coming, right? Find the changes since the last run. You can see if you did find any, it will let us know. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and run the test again. The particular one, we'll just rerun it pretty quickly, and then you would see, as it goes through. Doesn't take a long minute. Should be ready to go, and then you can add them in a suite, and then you can also put them in a template where users will use them, for form validation. You can get a 10 or 2 done. It would run through really quickly, and it would take it off. The system will automate the whole thing. You can build in whether it's failures, or you can build in validations within it. It's just taking its time while it's going through. Remember, it's going to what's it called? It's going to undo. It's going to undo the thing when it's done, which is what it's doing right now. It's going to redo it, undo it when it's done, which is what it's doing right now. It's going to run it through and bring it back out. That's all. So test passed, test failed. This is it. Successful, to tell you. It's okay. 1 minute. These are the images. As you fail to capture image, if you pass it can tell you. So now you can create it in a suite where you put them all together and then create do we have question in the suite? So if you open that up, you can create a new suite, for example, with your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, just want to add, because I know back then when we are using this ATL,
Okay.
it has some limitations when it comes to testing
Okay.
API integrations. Have they done any improvement on it yet?
Oh, great question. Yes, there is. Even recently with Xanadu, it was part of why they've continued to evolve that. And then, they have the inclusion of, what's it called? Automated test runners, where you can schedule those, and then you have the test generator. So there has been some, improvements. Yes, before there was that, which was true. But now they have my new. Now they do. They have it, all differently. Where all of that is now in the fix for what they can, what they can have or what they can't. But it's really been improved. It's no more. It's no more.
But I remember back then we had to use another tool for the customer because
it's been
integration in as part of what they do. But it's a very good tool to automate testing for a catalog that's very dynamic and has a lot of
Oh yeah,
views.
that has maximum, that has maximum components. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very good one for it. So aside from the integration part, I think it's very
Oh
good.
yeah, oh yeah. Those catalog items. Well, if you have an agency that has a ton of them,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
even when you have repeated scenarios that you need to take, whether it's even as a developer doing your unit check, you can
yeah.
set them up, test templates. You just put your thing, do your validation before you ask for peer reviews. Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of stuff, good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Here you can set it, the execution. We created self-service first, so you can put that as number 1 or number 2 stuff. So that way you can you can have that set up. So that way you have that there. My new test suite. Just a minute. Just my new. Okay. Just I think I did. There were 2 tests. So I need to. Okay, as part of the test suites. Just a minute. Suites. All right, so I would go here and add. I add created. I always like to do that. And then I always try to use the Z2A. So my new suite should be there. The name starts with or contains my new is the name. So it should show the 2 tests there. You're able to go in there and then update that. In the order that they were created. So this one is 20. I put that, which is the same as doing 10, 20, 200, 100, same thing. So reason why you put those high numbers is so that you have some wiggle room in case you have tests that need to go run before it. So I do know, that's why we do all those ordering, the order of execution. You can also control if it fails or if it passes. So for example, if this fails, don't go to the next. Alert me, so that way I will come and look at the log and stuff. You can set that here. The suite is here. All you're needing to do is to click on run, and it will execute in that. It will execute, the both of them. Like I said, it's in a suite, like you do when you talk of order guide and stuff. In a group, it will run them in each succession. Finishes anyone, it will capture it, it will roll it back, it will go to the next. All of this is compute time. So if we're doing it, we want to make sure we're in a lower environment. What will you mean? You do it in your dev, you do it in a lot of times it's going to be in quality assurance, or it's going to be in stage, or it's going to be in a user acceptance testing environment, because those are where there are lower environments where you're working. There are lower environments where you're working. All right, so just as an FYI, when that is being done, be mindful, remember that. Remember that for the most part. But that's really all that it is. That's really all that it is. While this is running, the other one is the test suite, which is part of that test template. You can build your own template, which we will do. But that's where we close out. Do we have questions? This is just taking this, it's jolly good time. It's done. It's going to start the next. This will be, completed. It will jump to that, the execution to start that one. It starts to run it. You can, for the most part, you can take a look. You can see, opening it up. It tells you as it goes through them, in bits. The final thing is to roll it back. You can see, whether it's the user interface, the other is database when it's submissions and stuff. For the most part. So here you can see whether you want to use the legacy, the impersonation. But bear in mind, if you use impersonation, the user must have the desired role. If not, they wouldn't see it. They wouldn't see it. All right, they don't see it. So very for the most part, they don't see it. So just as an FYI, they don't see it. It's just what it is that they get. So for the most part, so So in here, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna do test templates. So that way I can, go ahead and create that. You can see this is completed. So this is taking some time for some reason it's taking a jolly good time. You can see how long it took, right? Either in the test step or test suite, how long it took, for them to be, so here now I could go ahead and take a look at the, the test step, and then turn this into a, no, not the item one, the baseline one, the self-service test. I could just do something like that. I just want to use, create a user, open a form, set the values. So you can submit the form if you wish, simple like that, or you can, turn this into a template. So, for the most part, I just go ahead and create a template really quickly. I can do my, form submission template, or let's see, form reading templates, form submission. It can be any form. For now, we're using the ITIL one, but here you set it up. So create user, you selected the steps, right? Which is the next one you have is open the form, right? Open the form. The next thing you have is set field values. You can just go ahead and submit, but just so that you know, right? Like we have in there, set field value, you can field state validation if you want to, like the field is there, field state validation. Field state validation, submit form. That's all, lock it up and then submit. Reason why we leave description is a lot of times the template will fill the description with the details, especially when you have them up. So in this case, this becomes available now. You want to create a new one, for example. So maybe I want to create a user that's going to be able to. So I'll go ahead and do one really quickly, but there we go. So just go to test. So here I'll just go ahead and use that test. So I would say create a user test. So it's user test. So here, save it. I'll apply the template. So I'll add the template really quickly. I will make my selection for the template. So here we set form filling template. What form are you trying to fill? My user. So sys user, you just make sure you have the form sys user. So that way you have you just make sure it doesn't show up. You just type your user, right? All the user table stuff will show up. You just need to make sure you're in the right one. So the other one is groups and stuff. Sys user, you just need to make sure that you're in the right table because there's a lot of tables. Remember, the table is where the base where your information is all in there. You can see the description. Create a user with specified role or group to impersonate them. Open the form in whatever table. So now you need to go in and then update the values that you need in there. So for example, that test user that I need, that user must have this role that we specify. I need them to have I can say they have the ITIL role, for example, but the major role I need them to have is the user administrator role, right? So they have to get the user admin because they need to be able to manage and create users. So that's that, because they're going to be impersonated. So we're going to open the form. So like in this case, it's a user form that we're going to be opening. So there's nothing there that it is because the person must have access to the backend, for them to be able to create users. So now they're going to fill out the user form. We can open it up so that you see. Just I know we might not fill the whole fields out, just so for the most part, the most things that they would feel, maybe I would just go ahead and create a dummy record, for example. So maybe I want to put, maybe my first name and then my middle name and an example, and then email, first name, last name, right? And that's what we have. So here I will go ahead and do that really quickly. So the values that I need is first name, right? Last name, user ID, email. Just for, so Lameka, Anthony, first name, Anthony, first name, at example. That's all. So now that I have that there, all I can do is I can go to my history and then open down my test where I was filling out the test, creating user test one. I am there, so I can validate. There is no mandatory fields there, but you can say, for example, that you want to make sure that they do have value in here. But if not, there is no mandatory field there. So that one doesn't really consent. So you could say it's visible in the form if you want to. So I can say your user ID is visible on there. So I'll just come back into our field state validation. So here I would say the field that we wanted to, maybe that user ID one. If we wanted to fill it, we can use either one of them, or we can use all three of them, the ones that we filled out. That we want is visible. The other field, like name, is not visible. You can also do that, validate that it should work that way as well. As you do that, so submit the form. If you go ahead, submit will be there. For initial go, that's why you use that. But if not, if you look at clicking a UI, you need to be specific for what UI is there. Because you could use click UI or check UI availability. But submit the form is safer because there will be a submit in there to get it going. Just be remembering that this is ready to go. All you need to do is to go ahead and test it or run it. Takes a couple of minutes. The system should start to run this thing, for you. Boom, it opens the thing and starts to show you. Set it up really quickly, effortless. All right, that's all it is, effortless. Do we have questions? ServiceNow has improved their ATF offering, so go take upgrade your PDIs, take it for a spin. It's your sandbox to break. And then for new capabilities like Now Assist or the agentic one, go to ServiceNow University. There's a host of knowledge labs. There's a lot of wait for it. There's a lot awaiting you. All you're needing to do is to go in there, make sure that you try as much as possible. If you fail, it gives you the recommendations or it tells you what to go. You like, that's really your job. Googling error codes, right? Control right click. That's what you do as you're the technical analyst. Go take a look. Go see what it does, what it doesn't, and then you make your life easy. Especially when you're doing all those, whether you're doing demonstrations or stuff, or UAT demos, or you're testing your doing your initial initial unit test. You go ahead and validate, use that. It's just like when you create a template for a form or anything. That's really what it is. The test step, test cases, test templates. That's what they are. The steps, begins with impersonation, but that's to get it better, create that user. That way you have control. You assign the user. You don't want to create as many users all the time, every time in your system. Especially those are just for tests. To like I say, it's dummy records or demo data. Here you have the control. The system creates and then offsets it or or rolls it back. Yes, they will be in the log, but you can see whether you want to retain it indefinitely. If not, it has a cleanup job. It will go through and then, get those away. So do we have questions? Do we have concerns? So in conclusion, one thing is true. AI agents enable enterprise to scale their efficiencies. So they are not just achieving, both effective and efficient systems. So the whole idea is to make sure that not just better, faster, and cheaper for their service delivery, but now smarter with the agents, right? So they are smarter systems or autonomous systems, and they adapt to real life scenarios. So right now in the flow of work, they can get an impact for maybe this order item is in there's a low stock, or there's so much. They can even adjust the prices. Maybe this is going to take us another like a lead time of 2-3 days, or even 5 days, or 1 week. They can just adjust the price a little bit, just to kind of like nudge that says they can place the order with the supplier really quickly. If it's one way, it's in your warehouse, they can go ahead and send out that requirement to have the to have a replenished stock sent in. So yes, they are much more adaptive, and then they are delivering in massive manner, personalized, intuitive reasoning robots, reasoning systems. So take your PDI for a spin. You can see the ATF one. Go ahead and get that done. Look at the release notes, take a look. You can update from many of the last prior releases. If you are, you have, whether it's Zurich, Washington, or Xanadu, just take it, or Yokohama, take it for a spin, and then go take a look there. ServiceNow also, has that AI maturity index. Go read it. It's helpful. And then, like we talk about, Now Create is there. There is that customer success. There is that best practice engine. There is community. There's different forums. There's we have our Pan African IT forum. We have all of that good stuff. Everybody's there to help you, but you also have to have done your own homework, so that way you have your your answers. Nobody has your questions. You bring them in, you have the answers. Do we have any questions that we have in the chat before we go? All right. So thank you, everyone. A couple of minutes, the video will be out.
Thank you.
Oh, thank God. So download it, go replay them. Go ahead and, go to ServiceNow University, that playground, practice as much as you can about AI. And let me show you this really quickly, so that way you know that the AI is not going anywhere. AI is in everything. That's the trick here. AI is in everything. So this is Copilot. You can rewrite. This is a notepad. You go to your Google, same thing. You go to Google, you are working or doing anything you're doing on there. You open any page, you have it's embedded there. You cannot AI mode. You can't run away. So like we talk about, the resources are there. People that know about the AI, people that know about it, that's the ones that will take the job. Not that AI is taking your job. No, those are because man and machines will work, and this has been going on for the long minute. Whether it's manufacturing or whether it's aerospace, yes, those bots have been there. Even the retail, you come into the stores, you see them. you want to search with your camera, you want to search images here. Even when you say you don't want to use the AI mode, what is now created? Your prompt engineering, what is now created? It starts to use it. It's not even for you. It's there now. It starts to use it. Starts to use it. So go and experiment with this thing. You already, in fact, a lot of people are using it already. So don't hesitate to do that too. While you're working, because it's really important. It's really, really important. It's really important. The AI maturity index is really important. So go take a look. There's a lot of information and helpful stuff. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff, please. It's really important, and it will help you a lot. Even just managing the virtual agent, that chatbot, or if it's the natural language bot or predictive intelligence, ServiceNow even provides you micro certifications that you can use too. So for it to show credibility in there, go take it, go use it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Bye bye.